Hello. So, I've gotten a couple comments. Let me see here. Season 4, I think that's too far. Um, Whatever. Some people, I believe, are confused on what my timeline is. Um, but I'm just gonna make every season, I'm gonna do a, explanation on what this is. I'm gonna say what I tell in each video is that a season's a channel and an episode's a video. So that means this video, for example, the latest one, it is the fourth channel I came across in the list. Well, not counting this one, there was one video that was a glitch thing, so I ignored it. Blue Devil Gaming was season 1, Lunchy Trap was season 2, Sunnyside Voice Actor was season 3, so Trox was season 4. And then the episode means that the video I came across, I do all the videos, I do all the normal videos from oldest to newest, then I do all the shorts, oldest to newest. Is to keep it nice and clean, and then anything else that somehow still there. So for example, this is video 9. This is the 9th video I came across total on the channel. It's actually the last one, because now I'm on to Joby Arts. Well, the problem is though about Joby Arts is that there's probably going to be like 100 at least, 100 Murder Drone ones, and there's going to be compilations of multiple comics. I'm just going to do like .1 or .2, and then if there's another name for it, I'll just come together. So sooner or later, I'm gonna do Cougar. That's gonna happen. I'm gonna talk about that later, but whatever. Next is notes. This used to be nice. It used to just be like to hear, but then, vroom, a lot more is added. So let me do this. Absolute canon means that everything is confirmed by the creators. That means that, well, obviously the episodes here, I did pictures because they're the actual episodes, are confirmed. Like, nothing, nothing can dispute their timeline. They are the basis of the timeline. Without them, it would fall apart. Kind of, but I'll explain that in a minute. And then other stuff that they say that is true, that's not an actual episode. Like, for example, in the past here, for a couple of the past fan stuff I needed to add, I had to do a couple things. Like, for example, Tessa and Jay became besties. That's a confirmed event. V got 606 whenever she had that one moment. Before we see N for the first time in the past, and then before we see Tessa for the first time, and then when Tessa died, and of course when the drones were first created, these moments were all used to get a nice a range for these. And I guess I'm going to talk about that a little bit later as well. These names are kind of outdated, but I'm not bothered to fix them. Can be canon. They're basically like, they're not, they're the exact same as absolute canon, but they haven't been said by the creators that they are canon. It's like, all of these, slides 10 through 24, they're all, almost all of them are can be canons, except for the other ones, which I'm going to talk about now. Not canon, what it is that it connects, but it doesn't connect back. The only way you're going to see this basically is a series or a notice, for example. Like, for example, for a series, Insanity. Have you heard that? Shield Designation U, Unresolved. Example, Unresolved clearly says a year after they defeated Sin, but all this stuff happens. So it's clearly it connects, but it never connects back because it was going to definitely have a different ending. But then the not possibles. The definition's kind of wonky, and it is so absurd that it feels like it just can't happen, but it can. You just have to make some weird branching path to make it a not canon. Like, oh wait, hold on. I gotta explain that. So, they used to just be like non-possibles. They cannot connect to the timeline. There's some most likely case is a contradiction. But at some point, I was like, ooh, but like Sin makes soup. But wait a minute. How is that possible? I was like, well, if I go back far enough in the timeline, anything could happen. But like, no, this is the one moment. This is the furthest moment I'm gonna do. And even then, it is still too broad, so I'm gonna be very stingy about it. I wrote a whole paragraph and I spent like an hour on this thing. Like, I overcomplicate stuff. So I just wrote all this to calm myself. Basically 100%. Really, it just doesn't connect. Like, it's either a contradiction or just cannot fit. Then the without episode. It's a weird timeline where you just remove the actual episodes from it. I'll show you that in a minute. OCs. I use OC and AU interchangeably. If that is different, I believe is because I know OC stands for original creation, I believe. AU is alternate user or something like that's my best guess. But please somebody tell me if I'm wrong. So OC, someone made their own murder drone, for example, serial destination A. These will have their own mini timelines because of this, almost never connect to anything else. So like, for example, let me think of one. Mafia drones. I haven't added that to timeline because I haven't come across it by my rule set. But Mafia drones, for example, well, is Mafia drones. It does not connect to the timeline in any way. It even shows the past, which is really cool. It even shows the past, and it doesn't even connect cleanly to the past either. Well, yes, it could connect to here. This is so broad, but I don't want to put too much information in it. Whatever it is, it's just, yeah. Multiverse. It involves characters from other shows that don't connect to the show. I put that there because of other videos I did see, but not in the order, so I haven't added it to the timeline yet. So right now it doesn't have anything to do with it. But if I do get to some point where like Mergill and the Amazing Little Circus together, it's gonna be like a crossover timeline or something. Blue highlight, what's new? That was for when I originally did it for every single channel. But like, for example, the Joby Arts channel, that's not gonna work. Realize, wait a minute, I could just do it by episode, and that's worked out pretty well. So I'm gonna do this for now on. For these, and maybe a collection of the whole, I don't know. Anyways, C is circle. When there's so much stuff that can happen, usually like a range, like for example, there's so much that can happen, like, well, maybe not so much, but like, yeah, okay, there's so much that can happen between episodes 4 and 5 that it would just clutter the whole timeline, especially if I also have the 7, that I just put it in a circle. So basically, if you click on the slide, oh yeah, these are the OC's timeline. Like, for example, we got Shine on My Idol, Runaway Royale, and all those. That's like when, see? Wait, no, see? There's no way I'm gonna fit those and these into one, especially these two. I'm gonna, that's the without episode timeline. Again, it's wonky, there's a lot of ranges. One thing I guess that kind of helped was the fact of, the really only thing that's really set in stone is that Never Be Alone and She's Gone are like right after each other. So like, they're together, they kind of split the timeline in half. And then 6C here is when Uzi has the Yelpo eyes. And then these two are the branching paths. I'll explain the whole timelines in a minute, but now, last two, these are kind of new additions. Limbo. When I need more info on where to place it, so it's put on hold. Right now, for without timeline for like these, I don't know where to put it. Like, I'm just not gonna, I think I actually put everything else on just an AU, so I might actually just remove those. And then the remakes, when a scene has been remade and it's already been counted. Funnily enough, my most popular video that randomly exploded with like 1,000 views right here is literally just a remake. It's just V being remade. I'm like, bro, why? This one's good. I like that one has a lot of views. And then this one's okay, I guess. But it had like nothing to the timeline. It's just in a remake area. Anyways, let me finally show you guys the timelines. One more thing, so sorry. I have all the information. This is all basically what I'm gonna do is I give the title. What I do is I get the title, for example, Uzi like 6 feet, guys. So then I go ahead and watch it. Then I have a piece of paper where I write down every single thing that changes. Like, for example, I remember Uzi has purple eyes. She doesn't have yellow eyes. So, and then V's alive and all that. And then I write down like all the episodes 1 through 8. But then I also write down 0 and 9. 0 is anything before 1, so the past, and then 9 is just the future. Sorry if I'm going too fast. So for example, I came down to like, well, okay, basically the end of basically 5 all the way to 8. There's gonna be no room for anything unless it's supposed to be for those tiny moments. And we don't see. So really it comes down to between episodes 3 and 4, 4 through 5, and after 8 when Uzi gets cured. Then I figure out that without episode timeline, usually it's just 1 and 2C if they don't have any distinguishing qualities. And then I put them in the timeline, or put it in the slide where it's the C, and then that's it. So let me actually finally show you the actual timeline. Don't know why I'm not in the slideshow. I'm just gonna get in the slideshow now. Oh god. Why was it like that? Alright. So as you see, it actually starts when drones were first created. There's 2 branches. Let's discuss the humans nice to so like this is when like humans were not nice to AI at all. But if like we were just a little nicer, some of these events are just gonna be the same in this timeline, but it's like it connects back, but then it branches off. I just wanted to do it. I can't figure out how to do different colored arrows. We get these 2, Sincook Soup and Sinrise J, just because Sinrise J actually used to be a non-possible, but with Sincook Soup I realized, wait a minute, it can't happen if Sin was nice. Anyways, now the actual timeline. So we go a whole while later, we get to the past. So I guess the first one, the timeline that can happen is Spark, because it could happen right here. There's no definitive one, but we got Spark. Sweet Dreams happens between these. We'll Meet Again happens between these. And then here's what I want to explain. This is the only one where, and this is the first, I actually had this as a non-possible, but I've like, it can happen, but also not. Tessa could have died. Like, it's a different timeline. Think of it like that. It's a different timeline, but it does converge back because all the events in the present and future still happen. But if you don't, it will just be a non-possible, but whatever. But Tessa actually dies, and then they converge, and then we get to the main timeline. My golly jeepers. Okay. So, again, it starts with the murder drones coming to Copper 9, and this has a couple of stuff. We get to ranges. We get, well, first, End's not having it today. It can be in multiple places. There can be some stuff that can happen in multiple places. Like, for example, End's not having it today happens between when Lamar Jones came to Copper 9 and before Uzi met N. This is when N and J was being mean to N. It could also happen sorry, give me a minute. Sorry guys, I am back. It was some pretty kitties. Anyways, where was I? I have no idea where I was, so my bad. So I know we talked about this. Okay. Yeah, it was somewhere in the circle. So I think it was in one of these circles. It was also in here. But then also I think here's a better example. Here's a range. All of these are ranges. Okay? I'm just gonna tell you all of these are ranges. So this range right here, range. Subject 23, it's basically Alice, random subject. It's like when Merjones came to Copper 9, could have even been before or after, all the way down to when all the events of episode 6, but obviously before the characters go down because, well, we don't know. In fact, it could even still happen, but Alice's occupation, it's, yeah. I'm not going to explain every single one, but I'm going to say set off for Insanity was when N killed Uzi, set off for Seal as HUs. My guess was Uzi badly hurting V. Then we got Afraid is the only one that is a set in stone one. It actually happens in episode 4. It's the only one I'm actually going to say that happens in an episode. So a very long time. So yeah, it's between them landing and right before they leave the camp in episode 4. Really all else to say here. This is just to hold episode 7 and 8. I mean, also it's going to be used as a slime because sooner or later it's going to be too cramped as well. Then the Aftermath. I actually like the Aftermath. It's pretty good. We get the awkward moments. It's just the set off point. There's no real point. It really begins with 5C. As you see here. I should actually make a circle to say, hey, go back. But I didn't. Then we got, and feels so Sigma, that just can happen at any point. Then we got Jay's Aftermath, has these points. After the 5C branches off, in the air is all when Uzi gets cured. So these are the ones that where Uzi has yelpful eyes, or non-just purple eyes. This is again just a set off point. There's no real use. Then 10 here is the ones that has Uzi cure, but it's before the amalgamation, it's after whatever here. And this is one ending. This is one of the two endings of the timeline right now. We have the amalgamation, which is when Uzi and N got combined together by JC Jensen for some strange reason. And then the other ending, which is actually pretty recently, is when Uzi and N got married. Yes. I guess we got another ending right now, Chapter 3 of Unresolved. Serial Designation U, Serial Designation U core ending. So wait, that's 5 right now. We got the normal ending of Act 4. And Sanity ending, the Ligma ending. I should cancel that off because that cancels. So that's fine. So we have 8 endings right now. So that's all for that. And then we got all the information. See, that was the one. This is just for thumbnails I don't use anymore. Limbo, I already showed you that. Here are the non-possibles. She's Gone, Never Be Alone. They can't happen in episode 6. Saw it because of Tessa's blood. This used the scene from Murder Drones. This cannot happen on any Valentine's Day. Using and answer your questions, I would feel like, hey, would be a great non-possible type topic, but it can't. This one because it happens after episode 5, but it happens before the end because it talks about, you know, trying to do all this, but there's obviously no time for it to happen. Only dreams, and I'm not going to get into dreams. Nori meets N. Nori being in her worker drone body. Oil Hunger, forgot about that one, and I also forgot about Talkative. I also make a timeline for them just to be cool. Nothing really good right now. Non-Possible Squared, it's just a fun music dance partner. It is just a non-possible, but in a non-possible timeline, it can also not happen in the non-possible timeline. So it has its own. It really is just a non-possible, and I'm just trying to be funny. Like I said, I overcomplicate things. Then the without episode timeline, there's a whole heck of a lot of ranges here. All of these basically There's just ranges. Like, anything between here to here is a range. What the? Oh, I made an animation here on accident. Whoops. And then anything between here and here is also a range. Said this is when she had normal eyes, and this is when the yellow eyes, yellow and purple eyes. And then all the OCs is Crazy Taste of Oil, Shine of My Idol, Run Away Royale, Uzi Friday Kisses, Murder on Scene, but it's a V. I didn't want to put it as an impossible nor a remake, because like it reminds me of that one where series where it's instead of N who Uzi saved, it was V. So that's why I kept it. And then Scene with Disability Drone Sin, that was actually the lightest one I added. And then remakes, Original Scene Reanimated, which is my most popular one. Then here are all the circles, like I said, a lot. There's 10 of them. And that's it. 51 slides right now. It's going to keep on climbing. I'm going to do it until my computer cannot hold it anymore. Thank you guys for watching. I don't know, but whatever. See you guys later. Bye. Watch my other timelines.